Hi guys. Guys, we are here with the two stars from Upside Down Magic. And my first question is for Miss Siena. So your character Reina is a flare, but if Siena were UDM, what power would you have?
Oh, um, if it was like a UDM player?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Maybe the power would just be too strong and she has to learn how to control it. Maybe that's how it is.
And for Miss Izabela, Nory is my new spirit animal. Her optimism and positive attitude was just so inspiring in the movie. What did you like most about playing Nory?
Oh, that's hard. When I first saw the description for Nori, I instantly fell in love with her positive and determined and exuberant attitude, and it very much reminded me of me. But I think something that me and Nori very relate to the most is being very determined. I think Nori, when she faces rejection, she doesn't give up. She's determined to prove to Sage Academy that even though her magic is different, even though the UDM's magic is different, doesn't mean it should make them outcast. And that's something that I try to do, especially with the industry that I'm in. When you get a role, you're determined to book something, and you look at everything as planting a seed, and finally one of those seeds will grow. And I do that in my everyday life. So I think something that would be one of the things that me and Nori have most in common.
And for Miss Siena, what advice would you give Reina for what she's going through during her stay at Sage Academy without giving too much away?
I think it's that she should focus more on expanding her studies and not worry about the competition and not worry so much about being the best in class, because ultimately it's about the knowledge that you gain and not where you're placed and ranked in the class. And also I think something that's important is communication with Nori, and I think that would actually really help both of them.
And for both of you guys, did you read the book before or after you booked your role?
After.
Yes. So I did read it after. So when I first, actually, it's a crazy story. When I first saw the audition for Nori and I first got it, I didn't know it was off of a book series. So finally, after I booked the role, I found out that it was off of a book series. And so I wanted, I instantly felt like Nori's positive attitude and her personality reminded me of me. But I did read the books because I did want to get to know more of Nori. And so by doing that, I read the Upside Down Magic books, and I found so many things. And the writers are so talented, Sarah, Lauren, and Emily. And it kind of gave me a little bit more of Nori's backstory.
And Miss Siena?
Yeah, I bought the book series after the chemistry read. We went straight to Barnes and Nobles, and I believe there's 7 of them. I didn't make it through all of them, but I definitely got the idea of the series, and it definitely gave me a wider view of the concept of it all.
And how are you guys different from your characters? And which way do you differ?
My style is definitely different than Reina. Reina wears like sweaters and skirts and boots with clean white socks, and I don't even match my socks. We're definitely very different in, in that style. Reina's more organized than me, even if I strive to be that way. But and I'm not as shy as she is. But we have some similarities. But we're pretty different.
I think my character, I would definitely have to agree with the style. So, well, okay, there's a crazy story that came behind this. When I first got into the fitting where you get to pretty much try on the character's clothes,
Yes.
I tried on her clothes, and I loved her clothes, but I didn't find it similar to mine. Mine was more, I think mine was a little bit more Reina style, where I was a little bit more proper. I liked everything matchy. I think the only thing would be the socks that I do mixed match socks. But when I started wearing more of Nori's clothes, I fell in love with like Nori's style, and I noticed that I would start to wear things that I would think that Nori would wear. And so I usually, like, the outfit I'm wearing today is actually a little bit inspired by Nori.
Oh, it's adorable, by the way.
Thank you.
And if you, Izabela, and Siena, if you were going to Sage Academy, which power do you think you possess?
Ooh, that's hard.
Or you think we'd possess?
What do you think, Sienna?
I would either say, oh gosh. Okay, I think for me, what I would want would probably be different than what I would have. But I think I'm such a no, I want it to. I'm such an animal lover. I would want to talk to animals. That's probably who I would the power I would have. I don't know. But because my life is always centered around animals and I love it. So that's probably what I would have.
Love
Yeah,
it.
I mean, I would definitely have to say I always go between the two, a flare and a fuzzy. With a flare you can heat up whatever you want from last night, but with a fuzzy you can talk to animals. So I mean, I exactly as Sienna said, like my life is I love animals. We find animals as like it's like another brother to me or a sister to me. So we find animals very calming and they understand you, and so I think it would be amazing to talk to animals. I mean, that's everyone's dream.
And before we go, what message do you hope fans who tune in will take away from the movie?
Yeah, well, I really do hope that people do take away the messages in this movie with celebrating differences and self acceptance and accepting others and true friendship. I think exactly how Sienna brought up. I think especially in the world we are in today, during quarantine, there's a lot of friendships that are apart during these times, and like Reina and Nory were experiencing the movie where Reina does get accepted, but Nory doesn't. She gets accepted into the UDMs. They're apart during this whole entire time, but they do make that time to be supportive friends. And so I hope it does encourage other friendships that are maybe experiencing the same thing. And of course, the magic in this movie.
And you, Miss Sienna?
I hope people take away the like embracing who you are and loving who you are, no matter what outside people say. And I think that people should really embrace like differences and not make it a bad thing at all, and not even make it a thing. It's just like that's what makes you you, and I think that's what's special, and that's what we should all hold close to our heart and promote more often, is to see these differences and love them.
Thank you both so much, guys. Don't forget to tune into Upside Down Magic on July 31st on Disney Channel, and you will not be disappointed. Bye, guys.
Thank you so much.